Twice. Hey, Dr. Rove. Number one question that we're getting right now is just hair loss questions. That is probably the number one. How can I get my edges to grow back? What can I do to just help my hair from not falling out? And I know right now during this whole coronavirus, this cold COVID-19, people are under a lot of stress. And let's just talk about right now, currently, just when I think about this whole hair care line, when I think about this whole line, one of the things that I recommend when I first saw it was that we need to use it as a system. So can you speak to that? I did. I was like, you know what? I love it. I'm a salon hairdresser first. So, and I'm always on you guys. I'm like, dang, this product is so good because, and I'm going to tell you why it's good really quickly, because when you first put the shampoo on someone's hair, and you go to run your fingers through it and you can feel the slipperage go through, that for me is the immediate, this product works. So
that's the make or break it, right?
That's the make or break it.
You can't pull your fingers through your hair. It's not working for you, it's working against you. And our hair is so fragile anyway. Most people think that our hair is like, absolutely the strongest, but the coils in our hair make it susceptible to breaking. And so when you have a product that doesn't allow for you to actually slip your fingers through your hair, it's working against you and not for you and for the health of your hair. So that was important for us to build into that product.
So what is that about? What is that product? So here, somebody's saying, what is the product? The product basically is P&G has P&G has a new brand out under the Head and Shoulders brand that is directly for texture. And would you say just African American hair, or would you say all textured hair?
I would say coily hair. So
coily hair.
Exactly. And this particular line, the way we developed it is because that we really wanted ingredients to deliver the moisturization we need and the slip that we need for our hair. But it's not only about the hair too, it's also about the scalp. First and foremost, people
right here,
many times before I started working in hair care, we pay more attention to our hair than naturally our scalp, and that's because you can't see it. It's only when people start to be concerned about those edges and even thinning hair, they become involved in scalp care. But what we are saying is it has to happen long before then, so that as you're taking care of your scalp, you also have healthier hair.
But you know what, too? Another thing that I definitely want to make sure that we cover with this line is we also need to understand it's about a regimen. So talk to us about that regimen, because you think that, now it's so many, it's like product overload. But one thing that I love that you guys did, you guys even, just sidebar, you even thought of a cold wash. Like, I love that. It's a shampoo, a conditioner, it's a treatment. This is my absolute favorite, especially because I do a lot of color. So I was like, why can't we have this in the salon for salon girls? Like, ladies, get your products and take them with you to the salon, okay? That's number one. But what is that product in this line that is, would you say, I'm seeing the word constantly, but what would you say is that product that's giving that hair that slippage and that like easy to maintain feel? What is that product?
So I'll walk through some of the ingredients. So it's important for you in our regimen, in our system, to have ingredients at each step of the way going to give that slip. So oftentimes people shy away from ingredients that have alcohol or all at the end of the ingredient name. Many times fatty alcohols, phenylbutyral alcohols, those ingredients are actually providing benefits for the hair that's actually nourishing the hair. When you combine that with other ingredients like scalp care actives, our zinc-based active is really being deposited onto the scalp so that you can have that scalp benefit while at the same time getting all the slip that you need and the moisturization that you need for your hair. So we blended that in at the right levels. Lots of people ask about, well, why did you put this ingredient in? Why does that? What is that?
So wait, so back up a little bit. So you said the zinc, is that ZPT product?
Zinc, exactly. Zinc pyrithione, that's the ingredient that deposits onto the scalp. Now, if you pick up some other products, people will say, well, isn't that in this particular product? One of the things that we've done within our lineup is to make sure that we've patented the size of the ingredient so that it can deposit into the right places on the skin. We have a unique scalp biome, and that's another thing we talked about previously. Everything that happens kind of underneath the wig, and when we prolong our wash frequency, When that
Yes.
happens,
That's
our
what I want you to
scalp microbiome, so it's the bacteria and the fungus, kind of gets out of whack on our skin. When that happens for us, many times we'll say, my scalp is dry or it's itchy. For most of us, almost 77% of us, it's scalp issues like dandruff. And so that zinc active actually counteracts the overabundance of the microbiome population, like the fungus on the scalp.
So that basically is what rectifies the itchy scalp, the psoriasis. Like some people, like I had
Yes.
clients who had like a little psoriasis, the whole
Yes.
thing. And this
Yeah.
product was really probably, sorry, I just dropped it, but this one was really good for that. A lot of people don't know about this product right here. This is the instant suit. Right. We look
I
how,
had to order some more for myself on Amazon.
right. And it's like now everybody's getting braids like every second. It's braids, braids, braids because people are looking for that convenience. So when she talks about the scalp, this was something that I had to hear at least 3 times just to really let it get into my head about like your skin, your scalp is an appendage of your skin, right?
Yes.
So you
Yes.
need to treat your scalp like you treat your skin. That really is what she's saying overall. You know what I mean? And
I just had a comment about the soiled hair. Yes, yes, yes. So what happens is when we extend our wash frequency and you have that dirt, oil, and buildup sitting on your scalp, you kind of leaving it there because your hair doesn't look like you need to wash it or you don't feel like washing it. When all of that stuff kind of sits, in addition to product buildup that's not working for you, the oil oxidizes on the scalp and it changes the health of the scalp too, in addition to all of the dirt.
so
So
it's like your skin. So because you notice sometimes if you don't wash your hair, just if, you know, you guys, I know you guys can relate to this. You know how you have
yeah,
braids in your hair for like a month, and then when you
yeah,
go to wash your hair, your skin clears up.
yes,
That is exactly what you're talking about, right? That's
that's
exactly
right,
what you're
that's
talking
right.
about.
I don't know how you want to handle the comments, but I'm seeing some amazing comments coming in too, asking about and mentioning
Comments.
co-washing as well. Can you see the comments about co-washing? Can you see that? Yeah, so the co-wash, this is important because a lot of times people will position their co-wash product as their normal shampoo and conditioner, and
Exactly.
that's not what it's meant
And
for.
that's what
Co-wash,
that's a good point. That's a good point, you guys. That people think that the co-washer, because a lot of people came out with the co-wash like it was like it was like the means all to the be all.
no,
And
it's me.
would you say that a co-wash can replace a shampoo?
No,
It
no, and
cannot. It cannot replace the two.
no, and that's why it's two different products. So a
So when they
co-wash,
say, tell us exactly what is a co-wash. Does it mean the shampoo in this? Like, tell me what it is, because for so long I just didn't know.
so the co is short for conditioner wash. So it's more of a conditioner with gentle cleansing, very, very low level cleansing for the hair. That's not enough cleansing when you've had a significant time between the last time you wash your hair and then the next time you wash your hair. In between that time, when it's prolonged, there's lots of buildup that can happen there, as well as flakes, etc. That co-wash is not going to give you that good cleanse that you need from a shampoo and then actually conditioning your hair. So it's important, if you're going to co-wash your hair, it can be when your hair is not significantly dirty, oily, or even sweaty.
Exactly. So would you say that this product is for who? Is she for you? Like what you're doing right now, like someone with like a 4C curl and you want to do a double strand twist, you don't want to strip the hair too much? Or is it for that curly girl who's like got like sort of mixed curly hair and she's like wetting her hair like 3 times a week?
So I'll take a step back for a second. For me, it depends on how I'm wearing my hair because I can wear my hair in my natural curl and then choose, say, for example, I washed my hair today and my hair is in my natural curl. Right now it's in a twist out, right? Tomorrow or the next day, I can choose if I go running and it hadn't been like a really significant workout and I don't have a lot of styling product in my hair, I can co-wash tomorrow or the
Gotcha.
next day.
Gotcha.
Okay. But if for me now, I have my twist out and actually I took my twist out this morning. I twisted my hair about 2 days ago.
Got
And
it.
so if I leave this out for another 2 days, I'm not going to go and co-wash. My hair needs to be cleansed.
Gotcha.
And then so it really depends on your choice of style, what you're doing in between. You know, if you're working out and sweating hard, co-wash is not going to be for you.
We need to clean that scalp.
Yes,
Clean
exactly.
the scalp. That's what it really is about. So this whole thing is about like cleaning your scalp, guys. I think a lot of us, myself included, we would take the wig as an alternative to a new style, a new day, every day, and forget totally about scalp care. And I know for a fact wearing the piece every single day without taking it on, like, I mean, we even went so far as sewing the wig on our scalps. Like, golly, like we got the wig for temporary action, but now we're sewing the wig on for convenience, forgetting about that scalp cannot breathe under there. And that
So
is really
if somebody says is co-washing good for braids
braids
or
or
locks,
locks. Yes.
if you've had an extended wash frequency and there's some buildup in there on your scalp and in your hair, then you may need to actually consider using a shampoo and a conditioner. Now, if you're concerned about stripping your hair, our shampoos, especially because they've been designed for black hair, our hair, they're not going to strip. They're designed to also deliver moisture even from the shampoo. So that's the other important piece as well. And that's where you're getting that slipping feel from, because it's delivering some moisture too while at the same time cleaning.
So is that the product you would say that is like cohesive all the way through this whole line? I'm seeing that word quite a bit. So is that the product? Is there a product that it is that's in this line that makes it so good? Is it just
Well,
the zinc?
but I'm really biased. I love the serum, the elixir.
Yeah. I love the elixir too.
Our elixir has menthol in it, and then a lot of women, black women, if you don't feel it working, sometimes they don't think it's working, right? But that's not always the case either. But what makes this beautiful is that it has the menthol and peppermint in that product, and it also
Yes.
allows us the benefit of the active. That same active that I was talking to you about is actually in this particular product.
The ZBT, exactly. And that's what helps with the itchy, dry scalp. So you guys, how you use this product is like, let's say if you have braids or locks or anything like that, and you're not ready to shampoo, this product, you just squirt it through all the way through, front to back, all the way through on wet and dry hair. And it dries instantly, but it gives you this sort of tingly, sea breezy feel, right? Exactly.
Right.
Rectifying that itchy feel. Exactly. So
They're actually asking about ingredients here too. For the moisturization, we have a combination.
you name it. All of them.
Fatty alcohol are so very important to help deliver the moisturization and the right of the active and things help provide moisturization for the scalp too. We also have carbonate in the product. It delivers some benefits too for the scalp.
So what made you guys come out with this one? This one is a new one too. This is that pre-shampoo build-up remover.
You?
I did? So wait, what inspired this? Because so you guys, when I go to the lab, I'm always giving my advice. You guys know I'm like the hair Nazi. I have tons of advice. So that was also something. So what was it that for? Was it for like those girls who leave their braids in for weeks and months?
You helped inspire it. I remember when you were talking about when you came into the lab earlier. I remember when you first came and we were talking through, our technologies and the process. You know what you need? You need a pre-shampoo you need a build-up remover, because, when people wash their hair, they have all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that you serve as inspiration for that.
Awesome.
So what not break some of that down, especially if you've been wearing a protective style, or even if you have like locks and it's been a while that you've washed your hair.
Excuse me.
Washes, it helps, bless you.
Get the
It
spray.
helps to break down that buildup, the oils, the dirt that's on the scalp. It's just spray it on directly onto the scalp, and then you go into your wash.
Exactly. So is that going to be step what? That's going to make step like 5.
All of them.
You don't.
All of them at the same time, right? You can tailor it to what you need. So it really depends. For me, if I was just really wearing my hair in my natural curl, and had co-washed maybe 2 days ago and then decided to wash with shampoo and conditioner, and I wasn't using a lot of styling product, I may not need that pre-shampoo buildup remover. But if I'm using a lot of styling product and wanting to hold my curls and then also maybe working out, etc., I might need that. Or if I've had braids.
A lot of women wear weaves too. And you guys get that little white lint stuff at the root of the braid for leaving it on. Most people get a weave are leaving it in for 2 months. And you know what? This is a great product because a lot of times when you take your braids out, people don't know. I'm sure many of you, how many of you guys out there had a weave, didn't brush it out, and your whole hair matted up at the shampoo bowl? This is probably a great product because if you don't brush it out every time you take those braids out first before you shampoo, you're going to get a dreadlocks. So this probably is a great pre-build-up remover that'll help you with that step. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
To that comment that you just said about having a weave, I guess about 10 years ago, my hair has been natural for about 10 years now. I worked out a whole lot, like almost every day. And I had a relaxer then, but I didn't want to keep putting heat in my hair to go back and style my hair for the next day or keep washing it every single day. Again, for some people, they don't want to do that. I didn't want to do that, nor did I have time. So I put extensions in and I wore them for a while. I'd get them taken down, get my hair trimmed and put back up. But you're right. When you take your hair down and if you've ignored your scalp, you're going to have some issues in between, especially if you haven't been caring for your hair either. So yes, I totally get that.
So what would you say as a chemist who's looking at scalps every single day, how often should we really shampoo our hair? Because Black people, we 2 weeks. We want the style to last 2 weeks. We want the money to last for 2 weeks. We want everything 2 weeks, 7 days and 2 weeks is what I kind of see.
On average, in all of our research, we see that most people wash their hair about once a week. That's
once
on
a week.
average. Done testing and studies here in the U.S. and in Africa. In the U.S., the frequency is about once a week for Black women. And that's not bad. Some people, if they're wearing a wash and go, they might choose to co-wash their hair and then decide maybe the next 2 days refresh their curl and make co-wash again. So it really depends on your personal needs. And then what are you doing to your hair in the meantime? How are you caring for your scalp in the meantime, which is so very important for me. I might not wash a couple of times a week, but I'm going to put something on my scalp to care for my scalp. And that's why I had to order.
And you can use this every day. You can put this on every day. It's enough. Okay. It says, yeah, I can't go long with my scalp itchy. Yeah, this is a great, like, in between. I promise you, you put this on, if you have braids, you literally, it almost feels like you don't have to shampoo, which you do, but it kind of is like a little safety net, you know, in the middle. Exactly.
Talk about, before we get too far, hair loss at the very beginning.
Yes.
And stress. I did want to talk about that only for lots of different reasons. But for one, we're spending more time at home under these stressful conditions, right? And we have more time, as my husband said, you have more time to look at yourself in the mirror. So we're all kind of in the mirror looking at ourselves. And even with me, and I'm just kind of letting it all out. Personally, I'm checking my edges too. Because if you're pulling your hair back and brushing back, that delicate area around your hairline, those vellus hairs are not rooted into your scalp as deeply as the thicker hairs on your head. And so as a result, if there's a lot of tension and you're not caring for it, or you have a lot of abrasion going on with the wrong type of hair scarf, that can actually start to do damage to your edges.
Like the bonnet, right? Some women still wear that bonnet from like the 70s that their grandmama wore. And that bonnet is tearing up those. Would you agree that the bonnet is a bad way to go to bed? It's both.
On the hair can cause damage to the hair, and the sensitive areas around the hairline is so very susceptible to actually pulling it out and removing it, not just breaking it, but pulling it out. So again, that makes more people. And so when that happens, people then begin to stress and say, okay, what my edges are thinning. Now I'm stressed. And then that introduces a whole other cycle of stressful hair shedding too. Not to mention, if you have itch and dryness and you can be scratching, that can also break hair fiber as well.
So what about something you guys mentioned too before let's go back to hair loss. Would you recommend that people use a Rogaine? Is that like recommended, or can you recommend something like that for hair growth stimulation? Because now my hair is out. What do we do to get it to grow back?
So the important thing, one, we don't make Rogaine, but I'll help here for sure.
But people are asking. They want to know, like, does Rogaine work? What can we do to stimulate growth?
The active ingredient is minoxidil. So that particular ingredient has actually been FDA approved for hair growth. So if you want to really talk about hair growth, interestingly enough, though, you have to know that when you use the product, if you choose to, just a warning for women, that your hair will go through a cycle of shedding first and then going through a growth stage. So I'm not necessarily advocating for everybody to go out and try that, but I just want to help educate here. So don't be alarmed if that's what's happened to you and then you stopped. The other important piece is for hair care altogether, and if you haven't hit a stage of your hair is thinning, you want to take care of your scalp before you ever even get to that point. And so that's when the system piece comes in, Kiyah. So very important. And oftentimes many products, they talk scalp care, but you also have to look at the ingredients in terms of what they're delivering for the scalp to make the scalp healthy. And one thing I can say about our scalp lineup is that we have many clinical studies that we run, and also with Black women, to make sure that the benefits are there and we are restoring the scalp back to a healthier place. And
that's the key. That's the key.
Healthy
scalp, healthy hair. It's so true.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can tell you so when I talked about the buildup in the oil, etc., all of that goes into oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is what happens on our skin when we go outside to the sun, and we have sun damage, right? That oxidative stress that happens on our scalp then begins to make the scalp unhealthy. When it makes the scalp unhealthy, we've run hair plucking studies to show that when you remove the hair, or pluck the hair out of an unhealthy scalp, the hair underneath the skin is actually unhealthy too. So that goes.
And what contributes to that? Is that diet, stress, life? Like, what is that?
It's a combination. Primarily, when you have an imbalance in your scalp biome, like the fungus and the bacteria that can get out of whack, that fungus actually deposits more like a toxic substance onto the scalp. And remember, I talked about scalp oils. The more they sit on the scalp, they oxidize too. When they oxidize, they break down into more harmful components for the skin. That's when we start.
So that means, so basically, let's break that down in like kid terms. So basically what you're saying is like, you just left your makeup on for 3 days. You left your makeup on for 3 days, and it's like literally, oh my God, I'm gonna break out.
Right. And add to it, you went in some kind of environment that made it worse. That's what happens with our scalp.
And then you went and laid out in the sun with the makeup on.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
That exacerbates it all. So imagine like having that and then covering it up and then leaving it and forgetting about it, right? Or leaving it and waiting and coming back.
So basically we went to the beach, we laid out in the sun, we styled our hair that night, woke up, did it again. Next day went and laid back in the sun, put the curl cream, all type of great stuff on, and now, and then in another month, oh my God, my edge is falling out. Girl, this is why.
I don't want to send everybody into a scare because it is bad, and it sounds.
But that's really what it is.
Yeah, and it hits people when they start to see their hair thinning, right? And then they go, well, what can I do now? It's so important to, just like we have regular, it took a long time for people to say you have to moisturize your skin. You need to moisturize your skin to avoid wrinkles, to avoid
sunblock, all of that, yeah.
All of that. It took a long time for people to get into that habit. It's no different for scalp, right? Many people haven't been in the habit of caring for their scalp. So it's the education that's needed, because you can't see all that stuff. You only find out about it until you go, oh, my scalp looks horrible, my hair is thinning, and oh, by the way, as we mature, your hair fiber changes, your hair can happen. So it's so very important. If you're maintaining the health of your scalp, then you can also counteract those negative things that can happen later on your hair as we see it. So very important. There was one other thing that popped up in the chat that I wanted to touch on as related to hair thinning. We were talking about the regimen. I lost it, Kiyah, but that's okay.
Is there anything you do recommend? Like, what is a solution for like thinning edges? What do we do? Like, what's the solution? Like me, let me give you 2 things that I've done to try to rectify it. So I went to like a hair loss doctor, because people ask this question all the time. So, you know, I want to understand hair care because I know it does matter.
Yeah.
But one of the things I learned with
Yeah.
my hair getting thinner, I don't know if it's age. I don't know if I know it was stress because it was like 2 years and my hair just was coming out. So I went to like a natural hair loss doctor.
Yeah.
And I went and one of the things they recommended was this capitalist cap, right?
Mm-hmm.
This
Mm-hmm.
capitalist cap, I noticed, and then it's going to go back to probably what you said about when you said the hair goes through the scalp and so it's damaged here. This is the
Yes.
area where it's damaged. One of the things
Mm-hmm.
that this cap helped me with is the blood flow. And I think
Mm.
is that a factor? Like they made me do the micro needling to my edges, which I know we talked about damage to the scalp is not always a good thing. Is
Yes.
that okay to use that? Because people are
So
recommending this thing.
here's the thing with implements, right? I can't speak for the cap because I haven't thoroughly taken a look at the claims and then the mechanism of action. I know that it's
But
using
what
light,
about blood flow? Is
blood
that
flow. That definitely helps. So there are some tools that allow to stimulation of blood flow and even massaging tools, right? The trick to those is that you have to be very careful because it's all about gentle stimulation. When there's that overstimulation that can happen, even like the scrubbing and hard massage,
Yes, you
like
told me about that. So you said so when black women go to the hair salon, this is I've got to touch on that. That's the misconception. We think that we are scrubbing. Girl, get in there with the nails. Get in there and we are scraping layers off the scalp. Is that what you're saying we're doing?
yes, not only the scalp, but also your hair. So imagine I was gonna bring my little hair model. I have like a hair model, 3D hair model. So imagine tree, right? And you have those layers of the bark. So that's kind of like your hair. You scrub, you go with the saw up against that, you're gonna knock all the bark off, right? That is the same thing with our hair fiber. It's fine. It's finer obviously than a tree, right? But if you look at the cuticles are layered down like shingles. If you go and start to scrub it in every single direction, you're going to start to remove some of those cuticles over time. So just imagine that compounding over and over. It's so different from getting in there with a comb to scrub before you actually wash your hair, or even a massaging tool. If you do it too hard, it becomes abrasive to not
The
only your
scalp.
scalp skin, but your hair too. Your hair too. We've seen studies that show that just by scratching, you can thin your hair out.
Wow, that's a definite one. So what's another we talked about this last time too about misconceptions about black hair, and one was people like when they come to the clients come to the salon. I've heard other stylists. I've even been recommended this. What about the cold water? Like rinse your hair with cold water because it makes your seals the cuticles of your hair. Is that real? Like using cold water, cool water? Is that a myth? Is that real?
Yeah, we tested. That's a myth. That's a myth. You should
So
use warm water. It's fine. Cold water is not going to necessarily close the cuticles. The fact of the matter is, when you add water to the hair, the water hydrates the hair. The cuticles actually swell and lift up even more so. Our cuticles are already really uplifted in coily hair, especially for type 4 hair. You get uplift of cuticles at every point where the hair turns. So when that water gets in, it just swells it even more. Cold water won't necessarily lock it down. It's the water that actually is removing out of the hair as it dries that helps to seal the cuticles, or even your product that you use from a styling perspective will help to seal that down.
so that's a myth. The cold water on the hair is a myth. All right, guys,
That's a
we
myth.
got it from Dr. Rowe. Cold water on the hair is
Yep.
a myth. Okay,
Yep.
that's that. So what about another one too that I asked you guys when I came in before? I'm always like, what is the difference between paraben free and sulfate free? Like is the hair going to feel any different if you don't have those products or if you do have them? So, and
So
everybody's so concerned about sulfate free.
uh,
Our products are sulfate free too. So what is the difference between sulfates and paraben free products?
So sulfates are primarily cleansing ingredients. They're surfactants to help clean your hair, right? There's been myths, and you and I have talked through this before, and we can track back where those myths come from, that sulfates are actually not good for men, that they're not good for you and keep drying to your hair. That's based on a study that somebody ran with a sulfate in absolute to look at what it does or could do to the skin or the hair. We don't use those ingredients in that manner when we formulate our products. We never use an absolute ingredient, and that's the only ingredient you use. It's all about the right level of and the balance of those ingredients. Now,
Got it.
the benefits of sulfates for some women would be if you really want a good clean of your hair, and I'm not going to say a strip clean because I don't think anybody likes that kind of squeaky, like down to the bone clean, right? But if you want to clean and actually have the signal that your hair is clean, oftentimes sulfates can do that for you by generating a little bit more lather. Just because there's lather doesn't mean that it is cleaning your hair either. Lather is primarily a signal, but also lather is also a carrier for many of our ingredients to go down on the scalp too. So that's those products that we use. I never knew it before I became more of a cosmetic chemist over 17 years ago. I didn't realize how much science was in that bottle. But for women who choose to use sulfate-containing products, they're wanting more of that signal of clean, right? Some women who may not use a lot of different styling products, etc., may actually choose to, or there may be because of fear, they don't want to use sulfates, and there are then sulfate-free products, and so you can switch out a sulfate ingredient with other cleansing ingredients or surfactants like cocoamidopropylbutane, we call it cocoa B for short, that can also provide some level of gentle cleaning too. So it just really depends on what you're looking for and your motivations. And I never go against what someone's personal motivations would be. So it's so important for us that we have a product that will be able to deliver to them what they're looking for, design in the way that they want.
So
Yeah.
parabens so
Yeah.
parabens and sulfates are the same or they're not?
No, they're not the same. So parabens are really kind of built in as preservatives, right? The myth that is associated with parabens came about from a chain email many, many years ago that said parabens actually cause cancer. And so we can track all those different things. That's not true. There's no full proof of that. But we know that now women are conscious of that. So we remove those ingredients to deliver formulas that they are more comfortable with using, right?
Got it. But more comfortable with using. Exactly. I you know, like I said, I have been kind of going through the hair loss journey too. I kind of got my hair back to more of a stable place. It literally took a year. And mine was because I stopped eating meat. Do you think that when you stop eating meat, that affects the proteins that you're missing in your hair? You know,
We
because every couple of years I'm like, I can't do the meat thing. It changes my body. It makes me voluptuous everywhere. So I'm not eating meat right now. And I can immediately tell my hair just gets thin. Immediately, like 3 weeks in, I'm getting
stop,
thin.
when you stop eating meat, your hair gets thin. That's
Immediately.
what you're So we've heard from, and that's one just to get clear, we've heard from dermatologists that protein in your diet can actually impact your hair.
It
So
does.
the correlation, I went to the World Congress of Dermatology last year. We were standing in a group of some of the most world-renowned dermatologists and scientists. They were talking about supplements, and they were talking about people that choose not to eat meat. And women they're seeing some trends of people who choose not to eat meat and what's showing up on their hair. So I say if you go with that, I'm the same way, Kiyah. I have periods of times when I will not eat meat. But
Does it
I
affect your
also,
hair? Do you notice it?
um, that might be why I started looking in the mirror a little closely.
Are you not eating
I have,
meat now?
no,
Do,
I am now. I am now,
okay.
but I do go through periods like at the beginning of the year, I might choose to do a fast. And I can go, for example, 40 days without meat. I've gone longer. But I can't say that I've really gone back and noticed a change in my hair.
Oh,
The biggest
good.
time I change in my hair, I have 3 kids, and the youngest is 3 right now. She actually just walked up a second ago. She's 3. And so for me, each period of time when I was pregnant, every time I noticed even more and more change with my hair. So that's also common too. But for me, that's the biggest time
Do
when
you feel
I
like the hair vitamins that you take while you're pregnant, do you feel like you could take those even after you have your baby? Do they
so
work?
up until I've had Ava in the past 3 years, I did not stop taking prenatal vitamins. So I have an 8, a 6, and a 3-year-old. So from 8, during that time, from my first to my youngest, I took prenatal vitamins all throughout that time. And I still, to this day, still take vitamins.
Is there a specific kind that you think is best for our hair? Like, is it like just get the biotin pack, or do we need a group of ingredients to make up for healthy hair?
So this is Rolanda's perception, because I have not checked.
I know they will quote you. Because you got a head full of beautiful hair. And every time I come, I see how pretty your hair is. So I'm like, is there like certain vitamins we should take? Or foods?
I also have vitamin B12, and I also supplement with a multivitamin too. So, and I add iron in as well because I don't eat a lot of red meat. So all of those vitamins for me, I can tell the difference in how my body feels, just personally. Good. So this is for me. And then earlier you talked about hair. What about the thinning hair? So I took my hair down today. But one of the things, you know me, I would always see you and my hair would be kind of up.
In a ponytail.
My pineapple, right?
Your pineapple.
And then at some point you can't keep stressing your edges and your hair.
Yeah, you're right.
And then we're noticing that traction alopecia is big for Black women. And that is the thing that takes an emotional toll upon us. And then that stress can also create a never-ending cycle once you get into it from a hair loss perspective. So a part of that we have control over. We don't have to always pull our hair back. Our hair, it innately wants to be curly and just kind of sit on the scalp. It's been designed coily and curly because we're from hot and humid areas like sub-Saharan Africa. And so it's because of that, that's why our hair is like that. When we start to pull the coils, pull the hair, pull it back, that increases the amount of traction on the hair, but also on the scalp. And then that's when we begin to see lots of traction alopecia. So my advice to anybody
record the rest.
I stopped pulling my hair back a lot during this time when I'm at home, because it's easy to not do anything with your hair when you're at home, or easy to just do something with your hair when you're going to be on camera. So I've been doing to my scalp 2-strand twist, and just having it around the crown of my hair, and then pinning it up and kind of stretching my hair so that when I pull it down, my twist out is kind of full. So
it's styled.
And I switched it up this morning.
Yes, it's so pretty. I think now, because I'm telling you, I can really relate to this, because even with me right now, I've been getting more comfortable with getting on camera with my pre-look.
At the crown. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. So oftentimes too, people are suffering from androgenetic alopecia. So that's more hereditary. And when that's the case, you have to go see a dermatologist. Yeah.
You know where a lot of that comes from too? I found that in my clients. A lot of women are doing that top knot ponytail. And what happens is that bobby pin or whatever, like I started using the hook ones that you hook, because a lot of times the pins from the ponytails are scraping across the scalp. And people are like, why is my hair coming out right here? I'm like, you're wearing a ponytail every single day. And I was saying go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah, when that happens too, for some women, if they're leaving their hair out, and for example, like a lot of older women also begin to experience androgenetic alopecia, and that's primarily like in the crown of the hair. But to your point,
here.
That what you're talking about is actually traction alopecia as well.
Meaning pulling and tugging on the hair.
Yeah, that's the pulling and the tugging. Now, if you have both, that problem is compounded. So if you're having some genetic hair loss, you definitely don't want to add to it by making wearing styles that you're pulling your hair back and there's some traction there. Try to let your hair loose as much as possible, or wear styles that may be like a 2-strand twist. That's not going to put a whole lot of stress on your hair.
Gotcha. And now, guys, with natural styles being so much more inviting, you can feel more comfortable. Because I know even for myself, I wasn't comfortable wearing my hair natural at all. And lately, I've just been home, and I'm like, I think it's more acceptable to be more natural when you're home. I think it's a great, because I never wore my hair natural. For me, it was a bit of a like, ugh.
Before now?
No, I went through periods of wearing it natural. Actually, when I was in my Lauryn Hill days, when I was on tour with Lauryn Hill, I was natural. And then when you move to LA, it's not a natural city. So you don't feel as inviting as when you're in New York City. You know,
Okay.
New York City, Brooklyn, natural hair is all accepted. Embrace. Yes, embrace the natural. But when I
You know,
moved to LA, it wasn't like that.
it's funny you mentioned that when I started my career, it wasn't like that either. Um,
Right. You're
it,
walking in P&G, black woman with, did you have
I wish
natural hair?
I wish I could find the picture. I actually at that time had a weave that was it looked like a real straw set. So the front part of my hair was straw set, and the back was front part was naturally straw set, my own hair, and the back was the
Was
weave.
the weave.
I did that for a long time to kind of give what we say my hair a break for a bit,
Yes.
but that's the most I got to kind of a natural looking sound. But my
Yes.
hair was relaxed for many years, and I wasn't comfortable walking in with, you know, my
Your
ponytail or my
texture.
curls, right? It was only until I went through a journey. I think I remember talking to you about this. My first son, when he was 8, I took the weave out. My hair had become natural by that time, right underneath, but I still wasn't comfortable taking it out. And nor did I know what my natural hair looked like. I had relaxers since I was a really little girl, so I didn't know
Wow.
what my natural hair or
Hey,
texture
Shotty.
was like. And I didn't even know what to do. I'm making hair products, and this is when we were also starting our journey of Goal Series and what we were doing. And for me, it's like, okay, wear your hair out, girl. And I had this like come to Jesus moment. We
Yeah.
were at this, and we had a dermatologist there, and we also had a physicist who works in academia that specializes in curly hair textures
Yes.
and understanding how heat flows in and out of the hair and can be damaging for the hair. We were all standing there talking about, what we were about to do when we worked on the Gold Series line, and we just started.
Was your team brown?
And I'm getting chills talking about it. And somewhere in our P&G files, I have like the ugly cry of me talking about how I was finally good with wearing my hair out and
Wow.
recognizing for so many years I wasn't. I really
Yeah.
wasn't. Because as a scientist, I'm a black woman, right? PhD scientist. Not that many of us when I first moved into my career at P&G, and not that many of us at all walking around with natural hair. So I had to get to a point where I knew how to care for it on my own, right? With products
Right.
that I
Because it's
love.
not easy. It's not easy.
It's a it's a journey, and for anybody to say that it was easy and they got it right the first time, please show me because I don't know one, but there's the beauty of it is that we have products that help you now to manage that journey and a system of products to help you not only care for your hair but also your scalp too. So for
And
me, that's kind of
yeah. Yeah, that leads me right into the styling line. Let's talk about that a little bit because
yeah.
people want to know about this new line. One, I'm loving the new packaging, you guys. Like this whole like purple and gold royalty. You know, we love a purple and gold, y'all. This is a
Oh,
really, really, really good line too. I use it tons, even though I don't get to touch hair a lot. I use it on my hair some,
yeah.
and I get to use it on my wigs. Now, my favorites are, of course, people are always like, what shampoo should I use? If you just want a normal shampoo, this one right here, I know we have new packaging. This is the old packaging, but the Pantene shampoo is like a great hydrating, moisturizing to your hair shampoo. I absolutely love it. Another favorite product of mine is the braid cream.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on the braid cream, you guys. I love this. This is the triple care braid cream. If you have braids or you got a daughter, your daughter's hair, I can look, I'm going on. I've got to tell you about this myself because when I braid my hair up or my assistants are braiding up my clients for weaves, extensions, or whatever, that braid cream, the slippage on that is everything. I absolutely love it.
The beauty of
And
that one is too, you can come back in even with your braids in and shear it on. It's designed to kind of shear so that it won't build up in the braid, but also still remember to moisturize
it
your braid.
is sheer.
Don't
Is that
forget
what
the
that little,
exactly.
I
Hmm.
like that. It's so good. It's so good. Let me put it up again.
There you
People are
go.
asking, like, what is it? It's this one. So, and then, of course, you guys give us a nice little sheen. The good thing about Pantene, too, you always have good smelling products.
Yeah.
Oh, my absolute favorite.
Plus, we do a lot of studies too with just going in and sitting down with women in their house, and they help to develop those fragrance profiles that go into the product. If at any point we get it wrong and overwhelmingly people go, "Ooh, you can't do this," we take several steps back and we start that journey.
Yeah, that you guys are right. I mean, even when we go into the lab, guys, they have a whole lab with a whole, basically a perfume store. So
Yes.
it's like tons of like perfumes. Like I really, my first time going, it was really enlightening because I had never been to a lab where I can really see, understand the chemistry, and I definitely didn't think I was going to see any brown girls there at all. So
Well,
that was
that's
really
what I'm going
nice.
to.
Yeah, that was really nice and refreshing. And my girl, who's the one that just goes and does the scalp reviews, what's her name?
Which one?
She puts the laser thing on your scalp so you can.
Oh, Stephanie.
Yes,
Yes.
Stephanie's so sweet. She's really into it too. She's not a brown girl, but she really loves what
She
she
makes
does.
sure she knows what's going on.
Shout out to Stephanie. She loves what she's doing.
Love that.
She does. These two right here are for the summer, guys. These right here, I would say, are for those curly girls. This is that curl pudding. Absolute fave. I love it. It's hydrating as well. This one right here is the Curl Awakening Spray. I find, though, that if I try to spray this on directly, it could go a little crunchy. That's something I do want to say is a disadvantage.
Yes.
So, you got to tell about the good and the bad. I don't want to make everything seem like it's perfect, but this one right here, I love it to wake up the curls, but I want to do like I like a little bit of pudding or like a cream first, and then I can set just to soften before I set. So that's something that I really recommend. But again,
Really quickly on the last Curl Awakening cream,
that's this one.
oftentimes people will kind of wet their hair and then go. So they said my curls don't look as fresh. They'll re-wet their hair
Yeah.
and add a different product.
Yeah.
Water alone, guys, can be damaging to the hair.
What can be?
Water by itself.
Oh, really? Why?
You're just going in and just wetting your curls to get a refresh. Water by itself has minerals in it. Minerals like copper can actually penetrate into the hair. And when we talk about making sure you have ingredients in the product that penetrates in the hair to work from the inside out is so very important because things like copper can go into the hair when that water swells. When the hair swells from the water, the copper can enter in and actually break down the protein inside of the hair. And so we can see protein and lipid damage in the hair. Hair is made up of 90% protein. And so if you don't protect that from the inside out, you're going to have a problem with breaking over time. So it's so very important for us to add in additional ingredients and actives like histidine and EDDS, which counteract that antioxidant damage. Again, we're talking about oxidancy damage, right? What happens both on the scalp and the hair. For the hair, we have antioxidants in the product to counteract that so that it strengthens the hair from the inside out. And then so very important, you have ingredients like silicones. And I know some people hate silicones, and I understand that, but silicones are not the silicones of
That's another misconception. People think silicones are bad. And
right.
why did they think they were bad? And why are you saying they're not so bad? They're actually in a lot of products that people don't know.
So years ago, for certain products, especially for us, and then other women who choose to use different products that might have fine hair, those products actually felt like they just actually sat on the hair and coated the hair, right? So that's where the negative perception came from.
Here.
The silicones of old are not the silicones today. So now you can actually functionalize silicone so that they can target the damaged areas on the hair fiber. So for us, if our damaged hair has a specific charge, if you functionalize a silicone, it can attract to that damaged area of the hair, avoiding the complete coating, right? But giving you the protection right where you need it the most. And we have ingredients like polyquaternary amino silicones in the product to help provide that. So again, it's not a one size fits all for everybody. So if you had a person years ago with finer hair going into the salon and using a product that talked about for volume and thickening and fullness, right? And then they go in and that product actually just sat on the hair and the hair was like limp, then the stylist is going to say, well, what did you use? Why did you use this? And so over time, those silicones really got that bad rap. Overall, from the perception of feel on the hair, because it shouldn't be a one size fits all.
Gotcha. So when I see silicone, So when I see products like serums, like this one, does that mean silicone is in it? When I see like a serum like that, that doesn't mean
There's
silicone is in it?
so there is some level of polyquinary aminosilicone.
Okay.
There's a
Okay.
small level of glycerin as
So
well as
all silicones are not bad. That's the bottom line.
yeah, they're not bad, but
Gotcha.
we understand that some women just don't want it based on it could have been an experience that they've had or something that somebody told them. So again, we make sure we design our products that we're trying to meet needs for everybody. So that's the key thing. I don't want to tell somebody that they're completely wrong when that's what they believe and that's what they feel.
Exactly. Exactly.
Our
This is
goal is to make sure that we are continuing to meet the needs for healthy hair. At the end of the day, when you look at all of those ingredients in the product, you've been through our labs. We have the labs where we test. We have a hair salon that we test the products on us first. And then we also bring in other women externally and we work
Yep.
with stylists and get the products in the stylist's hands so that we know by the time she uses that product with the combination of ingredients that we've designed, it's providing that final benefit that we're looking for. And that's all about the chemistry. And
Okay, good. All right. So you were finishing up what you were saying about, was it silicones?
yeah, and I forgot where I left off. I
Me
don't
too.
remember what I was saying.
We were just saying basically that all silicones are not bad for your hair. They're not
Right.
all bad.
Yeah, and I think where I want to leave it is that, we still make sure that we are delivering and designing products that are meeting, people's needs. And then we know that Black women, many of us can be passionate about what we know and what we want and believe. And so as a result, we are oftentimes in wanting to just sit down and just like I'm talking to you and you're giving us some feedback, we welcome it and we continue to design and evolve our products. But at the end of the day, it's all about hair health. And so we want to make sure that we're evaluating the hair health as well as the scalp health. And we do that with women that look like me and you to make sure we are getting it right. Yes.
People are asking, they can't read. Okay, really quickly, I'm just going to do a quick fast. Co-washing shampoo. This one is a great product. Dr. Rowe recommends it. These guys created it. It's
Recommends
awesome.
it. Don't replace it with your regular shampoo and conditioner product. That would not be a good choice.
All
Don't
right,
completely
cool. All right, these two right here. Sometimes, guys, I mix these two because I want to rectify that itchy, dry scalp, but I want to condition that hair. Give me your bits about it.
So is that the mask? I can't tell. It's the deep moisture mask. Yes. So the mask is really good for caring for your scalp and giving you that deep treatment on your hair too. The instant soothe elixir, so very important if, for example, you have a twist out or you're not going to wash your hair for a couple days and you have some itch. That gives you the immediate relief need and actually really soothes it with that active ingredient I talked about earlier.
So I use these 2 for 1 under a plastic bag, under that dryer right there. I'll put this on my scalp and I'll put this on the hair because I want my hair to feel nice and soft. Sorry. Now this one, what do you say about it?
So I say thank you, Kiyah, because you are inspiration. It'll help when you've had a prolonged wash frequency and there may be some buildup of product on your scalp as well as dandruff or flakes, as well as if you've been working out, sweating, and you've taken down a protective style. So use that, spray it on your scalp to break down the buildup that's there.
Okay, so my question is this. What is the difference between these two?
So the one on your, so my right, your left likely, the Daily Moisture Cream, that is really directly only for your scalp. So think lotion for your skin, but for your scalp.
Yeah, because I noticed it's not really greasy. That's what I noticed about it. And it has a nice little nozzle. You can get right in between those braids.
Not for the hair, for your scalp.
Got it.
For the hair that hasn't grown yet so that you can have healthy hair that hasn't grown, but also for healthy scalp, directly on your scalp.
Got it. What about this one?
Prep, that's for your hair, to moisturize your hair while at the same time with the active in. So if you get it on your scalp, it's not going to work against you.
Got it. So this is like, because sometimes I find that because my hair is in that porousy space, like if I brush around it every day for a ponytail, the middle will be a little, I can't get through it. If I squirt this or my braid cream, these two are probably my favorite. Okay. I love the rebrand for Head and Shoulders. Oh yeah, it's really great. It's really great, guys. It's called Royal Oils. We love it. All right. What else do we have? So we have that's really good. We have the Daily Moisture. We have our our mask, and of course we know we got the shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah.
This is the shampoo and the conditioner. This is, what would you say would be the difference between these two? When would you use these differently?
So
This is the Pantene shampoo. Love it.
I use both, right? So I will alternate my scalp care product with my regular shampoo. So it just really depends on the person. But if you have really big scalp concerns, a chronic dry scalp, a chronic flaky scalp, I would highly recommend Royal Oils, because that actually gives you the scalp benefit plus the hair benefit. Our Gold Series line is going to focus primarily on your hair moisturization benefits as well as detangling.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I mean, I think we kind of gave them the scoop.
Yeah.
We already talked about black hair don't tell no lies, because the bottom line, I said, that's what I say. Say it again.
I was just going to tell you if it's thirsty.
Exactly. Because one thing that we know is true. One thing that we know is true is that if we put products on our hair that does not work, it's just not good. The hair feels dry. It feels brittle. It feels like yucky. It just won't perform. So black hair don't tell no lies was my topic today, because I was like, Dr. Rose is gonna be able to come and just give us some just some 101 tips on just what makes our hair feel good, those special ingredients that's in this product that makes it feel so good. And I know immediately I see that coconut oil and I see the word moisture. And that is what I know when people go to the store to pick up products, these are the words that I look for.
Right.
Now, if you have like, if you have products, if your hair is like really heavy, what if your hair is really fine? This is my last question. What do you recommend? Because I don't want the hair to feel heavy or the product to weigh my hair down. What do you recommend?
What's this?
Oh, and you guys, if you want to get the product really quickly, people are asking, you can get this product at Walmart for sure. Walmart is in every single city, but I've also got the products at other stores like CVS and Rite Aid. And, you know, it's so convenient. That's one of the things I love about it. But Walmart definitely has the full line.
So I'll talk through the fine hair piece. Really, can you see that?
Yes. What does that say?
The serum helps to deliver the moisturization and the shine without weighing the hair down. And remember, I talked to you
about the hydrating oil.
Right. Yeah, sorry. The active ingredients that can target and deposit on the hair, that also helps to counteract the weight that can happen on the hair. So for the Gold Series line, I would really recommend the shampoo and conditioner for if somebody has very fine hair, and then follow up from a styling perspective with the hydrating oil that I have here. For me, I actually, after I took my hair down, I applied some of this, and I can do it now and then come back.
I like it. Yeah.
Right. And my hair, my curls won't like be flat.
Yeah.
So it's still giving that shine.
Yeah.
And
I like it. I use it for my skin too, my elbows, everything.
Love it.
I use it for my elbows. I'll be on camera like this, and I'm like, wait, let me get a little hydrating oil. It says hydrating oil, right? Let me get. Well, you know what, Dr. Rose, thank you so much. Thank you guys for just tuning in. If you guys have any questions, hey, you can hit up Dr. Rose.
One more quick thing, Kiyah, and we can sign
up
and talk about oils. A lot of times people use oils directly on the scalp.
Yes.
Like oils.
Yeah, you mean like back in the day when you would get the jar of grease and you would like part it, mama sit between the legs and grease like this all the way through? Is that not good for us?
So that can actually just sit on the scalp, but when you're trying to counteract something like chronic dryness that keeps coming back, or itch and flakes, you need to make sure that you're not actually layering on oils. That's fueling the problem. Remember, I talked about the fungus and the imbalance.
The fungus. Yes.
That actually eats the oils. It feeds off of the oils, and then it overpopulates and continues to cause the cycle of problems on the scalp. So this is why it's so very important to make sure that you are not always going in with oils that are concentrated, because you don't know how your skin is going to respond to that. And then it's also fueling the problem that you can't see.
Got it. So greasing your scalp, guys, is dead. I think, so are you saying we naturally produce sebum in our scalp? Naturally.
We already have it, but the thing is, for our hair, the sebum doesn't travel through our hair easily because of the coils, right? So
God, you're so right.
for people with straighter hair, naturally straight hair, they choose to wash their hair more often because those oils can actually go through.
Greasy. Exactly.
To it. We don't have that issue with our hair. So our hair actually craves more moisture and oil. However, when we're going in with concentrated oils on our hair, it doesn't really shear through to get to the damaged areas. And when it sits on the scalp, it fuels the problem. So it's all about the right level of balance.
So guys, we're not going to be greasing the scalp no more. We're not parting the hair and layering it on with Dax grease. Remember the Dax grease? That was the number one thing. And somebody said, drink lots of water. Yes, drink lots of foam.
Yes.
So thank
you. But thank you. This was so fun.